I did have a question come in from Honeybee about a different color. She asks, is it true that a black candle can be used to possibly send a bad energy to somebody? She said somebody once mentioned that to her. So if there's any thoughts you have to confirming what a black candle can kind of signify.
hmm So black is a color that we see as an absorber. Often it's used as a protectant. So we don't absorb that energy. We want to shield from that energy. So when you think of the visual of like a black cloak that we encase ourselves with, or if we're wearing black to try to shield and protect. Sometimes people hear like wear black to work if you've got a negative coworker and you don't want to absorb that energy, you want to shield from that energy. So black is often seen as a protection. It often is used as reversing. There's a whole branch of magic called reversing types of workings, or if somebody's sending you a lot of yucky energy and you kind of want to return to sender or protect yourself, black is used to shield from negativity in general. Now, I personally am what they consider a lady-hearted worker. I don't do darker workings, and so I'm going to steer away from that question or anything designed to incorporate harm because we just don't want to draw that energy into our lives. So I would encourage that if you are going to work with black, that you work with it from the point of view of protecting yourself. We want to address your will, your boundaries, and your energy. The negative or harming others is just not something that California Psychics promotes. This is absolutely not something that you will find on this line with any of our readers. We focus on positive manifestation and accomplishing and achieving those goals and dreams for yourself. Or if you want to positively help somebody else, then I can assist with that. But I'm going to veer away from that black and in terms of anything having to do with harm, and instead answer that by saying it's ideal to incorporate black and use black to protect yourself or to shield from the negativity of others. But yes, you will see that often associated with the word negative.
All right. Thank you, Honeybee, for submitting that question. And yes, that was a very insightful answer, Marin. Yes, it could kind of be kind of misconceived that, a darker color like that can almost be seen a little bit more negative, but there still is a positive, I guess, trait to it. Is a very warding or protective energy. So thank you for clarifying. Yes, like Honeybee says. And Patty, if you could answer this just really quick, I wonder if this does relate, but she asks if this is possibly why we wear black to funerals, with
Mm.
that kind of relation, if you would possibly know the answer to that, or if that does have a connection.
Gosh, that is fascinating. I actually am compelled to research this, and maybe because I know you've participated before with Tarot Thursday, so I'm going to research this and get back to you. I am more of the belief and understanding that black is for the grief, and that is kind of that shadow side going within. Kind of putting that boundary or that barrier to signal grief rather than it necessarily being protecting from negative energy or protecting from spirits or departed spirits. I think that it's more of a symbol of I'm in mourning, I'm in grief, please respect my boundary, I'm wearing black, I'm within. But I'm going to research it and get back to you.
Another question. This one's off topic though, and thank you, Patty, also for submitting that kind of connection as well, because that is kind of an interesting question
Yeah.
too. Marianne is wondering about the significance of candles and possibly the impact of the lunar cycles can have on candle work. Is there any connection there?
Um, Marianne, I appreciate the question. What I would say is that candle work, I feel like there's certain days that we like to choose to do workings that align with that energy. So different cycles within the moon. If we're in a waning moon, if we are diminishing, we want to do rituals and meditations that are eliminating. So we're removing things from our life. If it's a waxing moon and a growing moon, we want to work on abundance and what we're trying to bring in. So there are different time periods that we're very mindful of incorporating the moon, but I would not say that the moon really affects the burn patterns, kind of like if I were to borrow the tides and water and waves and how the moon affects the tides. I would say that's what's more likely to affect your working in the ritual is your own personal circumstances at that time. For example, like if somebody is talking about you, if there's gossip, something going on, your candle will crackle and fizzle and pop and snap and kind of project these little fireworks sizzles. If you've got an entirely clean burn all the way down, that is the best burn that you are looking for. You want to see that nice clean glass. Now, what happens if it burns all the way down and it gets to about here and then it goes out, or there's still a little bit of wax ring that's left and you can't relight it? It's just left. That means to be continued. So you want to repeat the exact same working. If it burns and it is completely full of black and soot, or it keeps going out again and again and again and won't stay lit, it's not the ideal petition or prayer, or it's not likely to manifest. So maybe you need to revise your petition, maybe contact a psychic, follow through with revising that. And doesn't mean don't do it. It just means something's not quite right. So let's get it on track. Let's produce a more successful outcome. And lastly, if it shatters and breaks or cracks or waxes everywhere, I've I'm going to stay away from some personal narratives, but I've seen crazy things happen before, and that is like all hands on deck, immediate attention. Something's going on. Give that person a call or check in on them. Something's up in their life. But you never know what you're going to get, which is why fire safety is the utmost importance when you are working with magical candles.